Hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I am going to be giving you guys tips to saving money on groceries in this video. Okay, so I'm gonna just get into tips on how to save money on groceries. Now, as a disclaimer, these are things that work for me. I am not a grocery expert. Do they have grocery experts? I don't know. Anyway, I'm just saying that these are tips that I have found through all my years shopping for groceries. These are things that I have found that have worked for my family since I've, in the last couple of years become more conscious about how much we're spending for groceries and how we can just save and cut back. Let's just jump right in. Tip number one, and I think is the biggest tip in my opinion, is to have a grocery budget. Mind blown, right? It seems so easy, like it seems so like duh, but have a certain amount per month that you are going to spend on groceries. Set a certain dollar amount and stick to that. Every amount for every household is going to be different. Ours has changed. I think maybe a couple years ago we were spending maybe like over $600 plus on groceries per month. And so it's come down quite a bit. If you want to see like our budget and stuff like that, I have a video that I've done. So I'm going to leave it in the upper corner and you guys can check it out. Yeah, so set a dollar amount budget that works for your family. I don't know what this little hair is doing here. So tip number two would be, let me confer with my list. Okay, tip number two is know your trigger stores. So let me explain this. Your trigger store is the store that you go in that you know that you cannot stick with your grocery list. That is your trigger store, where you know, if I go into the store, I'm going to overspend. I'm going to find something interesting that I'm like, I need this. So know your trigger stores and only go to that trigger store once per month. My trigger store is Costco. I know that even if I have a list going into Costco, I'm going to find something that I'm like, I need that. I need to try that. That looks good. And my son, whom I've instructed to stay in his room, is not listening. So you'll hear his little voice. Sit down here. You have to be quiet though. Okay. No, they don't need to see you. They don't need to see you. You just need to sit down. Okay, have a seat or go back to the room. Go have a seat or go back to the room and read. Sit down. Okay. Shh. Okay, so I only go to Costco once a month. The beginning of the month, I'm in Costco. That's when my budget is crisp and new. And if I spend a little extra in Costco, it's like it's not going to be too harmful or too detrimental. Yeah, so I go to Costco only once a month. Like, I cannot go to Costco multiple times and still think that I'm gonna stick to my budget for groceries. Tip number three is plan out your meals. Now, there's different ways that you can meal plan. I've done it several different ways. I've tried planning out the whole month all at once, and then I've tried going just week by week, and there are benefits to both of those things. planning out the whole month, you just knock it out right then, and you're done. You don't have to think about, you know, every day or every week what you're gonna cook. It's already been planned out. So that's a plus. For me, sometimes that could be problematic only because I like doing different things, and when I sit down at the beginning of the month and plan out the meals for the whole month, it doesn't leave room for me to be like, oh, I saw something on Pinterest, I want to do it this week. It's like the meal's already planned. So now I try to do meal plans per week, because how I do my grocery shopping is at the beginning of the month, I get all of our staples, like our staples, and then I'll go to the grocery store pretty much once a week to get what I need for that week. So if I meal plan for that week, I'm writing my grocery list for stuff I need for that week. I go to the grocery store in the beginning of the week, that lasts, and then I do that again, plan out for the next week, make my grocery list, and then shop for the groceries I need for that week's meals, and then so forth and so on. Number 4 kind of ties into that, and I've already said it several times. Have a grocery list when you go to the store. If you have your meals planned, you can look through the recipes or whatever you're using. Find out what ingredients you need for all of those recipes. Write them down on your grocery list so that when you go to the store, you are going for exactly what you need. And rewind a little bit about meal planning. I found in the past, I've only I've meal planned for only dinners, but I find it a lot easier if I meal plan for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so I'm not having to think so much. So I have enough ingredients and things to make for lunches as well as dinners. So yeah, tip number 4 is grocery list. When you go to the store, you need a list. Now, you're not always for me, I know I'm not always going to just follow that list like perfectly, but at least you know kind of a gist of all of the things you need. Sometimes I forget I need something or whatever, and I'll just add it while I'm at the store, but for the most part, I try to stick to that list. Tip number 5. This may not be a popular one, but it's one that I found has worked for my family and I just feel a lot better about it. So number 5 is making from scratch what you can. So the things that you can make from scratch, do it. Not only do you know exactly what's going into them, they taste a lot better a lot of the times, and it saves money. A lot of things like dressings, sauces, you're paying for the convenience of having them already done. But if you put them together yourself, you'll find that it's really not that difficult to make a lot of dressings and make a lot of the sauces that we purchase. Really easy, and stuff you probably have in your cabinet or your refrigerator already. I do buy mustard and ketchup, but like other sauces, even sour creams, I just don't buy them anymore. I tend to make my own sauces, and they taste great. Also, some other things that I've taken to making is bread. I was finding that my boys in particular were always asking for peanut butter and jelly every single day, and we like to eat toast around here, so we're buying bread a lot. And the kind of bread that I like buying was like maybe $5-6 for 2 loaves of bread. And so if you're adding that up throughout the month, that's a lot. We could go through 2 loaves of bread in like a week and a half. So I recently, like in the last month or 2, started making our own bread, and I love it. And my kids and my husband, they love eating it. It's good. It tastes a lot better than store-bought, and I'm just having fun figuring out the different methods and techniques of bread making. It's just really been fun for me. So that's one thing that I've taken up making, and also almond milk. Now, if you still drink cow's milk, unless you live on a farm or have access to a farm or a cow, you probably won't be able to extract your own cow's milk. So, but we our family, we do almond milk. It can get expensive. So I was doing from Costco like the 3 half-gallons, and that would be like $9 or something, and we go through it because that's all we drink basically. We don't buy juice or sodas or anything like that, so it's just water or almond milk, or tea, but specifically for the kids. Anyway, so it was getting pretty spendy. And so I was like, hey, let me make my own almond milk. Now, making almond milk, it was trial and error, because the first couple of times I made it, my kids were not having it. And so I was a little bit discouraged. And so I stopped making it. But then I found another recipe and I tried it again, and this recipe works. Thumbs up. So I'm back to making our own almond milk, and it's great. So long story short, tip number 5 is make what you can. Find recipes for the things that you love that can be made from scratch, and I guarantee you'll find it's a lot easier to make things than you thought. Number 6 would be to buy in bulk. And I mean things like oatmeal, things like rice, pastas, beans, what else do we buy in bulk? Flour, sugar. We just buy in bulk. And what I mean by bulk is not necessarily Costco, but we have another store here in the Northwest called Winco, and they have this bulk section where they have the bins, and you go in and you scoop out what you need, weigh it, and then you bring it home. And so I've taken to buying a lot of stuff in bulk. A lot of the stuff I just mentioned we have in our cabinets in bulk, and I just store them in large mason jars, and it saves so much money. Even herbs and spices, I mean, I can get in bulk, and so I just buy the little containers, and then just buy it in bulk. And then that was the last tip. six tips, and I think I've gone through them all. Yeah. So just to run through them quickly, we have number 1, most important, create your grocery budget. Number 2 is know your trigger stores and only frequent them once a month if you can help it. So you're not overspending. 3, meal planning. 4, go to the store with a grocery list. Don't deviate too much from that list. 5, make from scratch what you can. And 6, buy in bulk. If you enjoyed this video, first, thank you for watching this video if you've made it to the end. And if you enjoyed the video, you enjoyed the content, give it a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed and I know that what I shared was helpful. If you have any suggestions for videos that you would like to see or any questions, leave them down in the comments below. So I can read them and take in consideration any suggested videos. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed to my channel just yet, subscribe. It's going through a bit of changes since we've been on a debt-free journey. My videos have kind of shifted, but I'm still all about food, family, and faith. That is the basis for my videos. And so if you would like to subscribe, you've seen a couple of my videos and you enjoyed them, subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.